This story broke, I think it was yesterday. I don't know, but today I was like, you know what, let me just cover this story because I feel like I need to speak to Black women specifically because you all know my channel is not specifically for Black women. That's not what I'm about. I have a global audience. Like I acknowledge my global audience, women from all parts of the world, women from different backgrounds, etc. Because a lot of YouTubers, they think their audience is only in America, which is wild. But that's beside the point. Now let's get into this crazy story. And I'm going to share my thoughts and I'm going to leave you ladies with a message, okay? This is about the unaliving of Telvin Osborne. Telvin Osborne was unalive by his girlfriend. Okay, so these are the facts. Telvin Osborne was unalive by his girlfriend by a pew pew. You got to be careful with the words you use on YouTube. I'm not trying to get demonetized. Apparently, the incident occurred around 5:45 a.m. It doesn't say what day it happened. It could have happened 5:45 a.m. today or yesterday. I'm not exactly sure. But let's continue. So when the deputies arrived, they found Osborne with a single shot wound to the chest. He was later pronounced unalive at the hospital. Cobb, which is his girlfriend, she was arrested and remained in custody. Let me just finish the facts and then I'm going to clear some things up. According to authorities, both Osborne and Cobb had been drinking before an argument escalated, leading to the pew-pewing. Sheriff Alfonso Williams stated that the combination of alcohol and a firearm in a volatile situation was reckless. Cobb has been charged with simple battery, family violence, and reckless conduct. And those are the facts, okay? I think I came across a video earlier today where someone was saying that, oh, nothing's going to happen because this happened to a Black man and, she's going to get off. First of all, why? Like, I don't understand the thought process of a lot of Black people in the United States. And this is someone coming from the outside. So, I really don't have any business talking about this, but this is a global story. This is international news. And a lot of my followers are, in fact, African American women. And a lot of y'all are listening to these channels that I would categorize as divestment. And you all know how I feel about these divestment channels. I don't like them at all. These women are unhealed. They need to move on. They need to focus on better things. They need to focus on themselves. They need to focus on the people that actually like them, instead of sitting up there talking about Black men all day, every day. It's pathetic. I don't like it. But anyways, let's continue. Now, the thought process that people have, like, oh, she's going to get off because she is white and blah, blah, blah. Come on, y'all. Come on. They're not just going to let her off and be like, oh, it was an accident. Well, you go ahead. There needs to be an investigation, people. There needs to be an investigation and update on this news at the time that I'm recording this video, which is at 11:18 p.m. on Wednesday, 26th of February. Up until this point, the update is she has been arrested and she's facing manslaughter charges. That's what she's facing. She is going to go to trial, y'all. So calm down. Calm down. Most likely, she is going to get sentenced. Y'all are just doing too much. Y'all are too emotional. Now, when the story broke, I didn't pay much attention to it. But then when I saw those tweets, because those tweets are crazy, this is the story here. And this is the story from Yahoo News or Yahoo Entertainment News. I do not know why this is considered entertainment news, but this is the story. Telvin Osborne once said he'd rather sleep with a dog than a Black woman. Now he is unalive and social media has thoughts. And he didn't say that nicely. This is how he said it. I'll F a dog before I F a Black, BITCH. It gotta be a white dog though. Okay, those are his tweets. Okay, and this is the one that is blowing up. This is the tweet that jumped out to me, and I'm like, you know what? I need to get on this story and cover this because I have some things to say. And what I want to say to you all is that we have to stop giving our energy and attention to these people. Unfortunately, I have to give my attention to this story because it is growing legs. This is tweets from a 30-year-old man, y'all, a grown-ass man. And this is the type of stuff he be saying. Then again, I don't exactly know how old he was when he made this tweet, but regardless, this story is insane, okay? And is this person is trash. This is a trash ass nigger. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with having a preference. I'm not one of those black women that get triggered when when I see black men dating non-black women. That doesn't trigger me at all. It happens all the time. This is something that is very common. It's common. And most of the men that I know that are dating out, they are not like this. This is crazy. Okay. But every time I see something like this, it's for some reason it's always coming out of America. Now, I'm not saying that it happens in the Caribbean. It doesn't happen in the Caribbean or anything like that. But like every single time you see something like this, it's some self-hating Negro all over the internet talking about his preference, when in reality it's not just a preference. This is contempt. This is contempt. And this is coming from a very dark place, a very unhealed place. Now, why would someone make a tweet like this? Like, why would someone, you might have to zoom in to see this, but why would someone tweet this? Think about it. We already know your preference, okay? So if you are dating a certain demographic, we know what your preference is. But why would you go out of your way? Like you literally sat down on your phone and took time out of your day to tweet something like this. Ladies, this is someone that is in desperate need of attention. He needs attention and validation, and you'll be giving it to them. This is the reason why I got so pissed off. I was so pissed off with y'all when y'all were sharing Kevin Samuel stuff all over the internet. Like, I couldn't go on Facebook, on scrolling Facebook or scroll on my timeline or scroll in a Facebook group without someone posting Kevin Samuel stuff and talking about, oh my God, he hates black women, blah, blah, blah. Why are you all giving them attention? Like, stop giving these people your attention. Ladies, you have to recognize rage bait when you see it. Do you know that people are actually posting this type of stuff just to trigger you, just to get you angry, to get you enraged, to get a reaction out of you? And when they get that reaction out of you, guess what? They win. They win. If I come across something like this, I'm going to be like, oh, okay. And I'm just going to keep scrolling. I don't give this type of stuff my attention. I really don't. I don't give this emotional reaction because the reaction they want from you is a strong emotional reaction. It's a reaction of anger. They want you to feel insecure. They want you to feel rejected. Those are the type of feelings that they are trying to invoke in you. And the reason why they want to invoke those feelings in you is because that's how they feel every single day. This is how this person feels on the inside. This person is battling their own demons. And instead of going out there and being a decent human being and getting fucking therapy, they're out here on the internet spreading all this negativity. This is sad and embarrassing. It's an unfortunate story, though. It's definitely an unfortunate story. However, the person that this happened to, I don't have empathy for this person because this person lead a life of hate, resentment, okay? And the message I want to tell you, ladies, is this. When you see men like this, just know that they are not angry with you. They are not resentful towards you. It may seem that way, but in reality, they are angry and resentful towards their mothers. So when you see people writing this type of posting these type of tweets or whatever you want to call it, just know that this has nothing to do with you. Ladies, this has nothing to do with us. This is not our fight as Black women. Whether you live in the United States or you live somewhere else, you live in the Caribbean like myself, this is not our fight. Let him and his raggedy ass mama deal with this shit. Oh, sorry, he's dead. Let his mama deal with this. This is his mama's problem and his family's problem. Let them deal with that. This is not our problem. This is not our fight, ladies. This is not worth going out and matching about, and this is not worth all the think pieces and talking about how, Black men hate Black women and blah, blah, blah. No. Okay, because this is someone who is battling internalized racism. This person is emotionally damaged, deeply self-hating, and he's likely projecting his internalized racism. That's basically what it is. Because believe it or not, you got to also take into consideration that internalized racism is a thing. If you don't believe me, maybe you can go look it up, but it's a thing. And a lot of people, especially, the Black experience in the United States is a very unique one because in the Caribbean, when the colonizers decided that they were done colonizing, they left us and they went on their way. They went back to Europe or whatever. Okay. And, you come to our country and we are majority Black. We don't have the same problems. We don't have the same experience. However, we do have classism and colorism. And I feel like that's almost everywhere in the diaspora. But y'all have a very unique experience in the sense that when y'all were freed, the colonizers did not leave. They just stayed. They stayed in America. They didn't go back to England or Spain or wherever, all these colonizers came from. They did not go back there. They stayed. And y'all had to, find your way in a new situation in this country that basically hates you. That's what it looks like to me on the outside, by the way. But yeah. So I'm not surprised that, people are struggling with internalized racism. Okay, because for a Black man to say something like this about Black women who are literally part of his own identity and lineage, y'all. Because obviously, the elephant in the room here is that he came from a Black woman, right? This suggests that he harbored deep resentment, likely shaped by negative or personal experience, or societal conditioning, or maybe a desperate desire to distance himself from his own people for the purpose of, social or personal gain, because a lot of these men are very much aware of their status in life, and Black men are no exception. I made a video recently where I talked about how men are really obsessed with status, etc. Go watch that video, y'all. Black men are no different. They are very much aware of their lot in life and they hate it. Like they really do hate it. They want to be white. They want to switch places with the white men. That's what they want to do. And that's embarrassing. Okay? This is not a preference. This is outright contempt. This is basically what this is. This right here is not a preference. This is hatred. And people who speak like this, okay, men that speak like this, people that make this type of stuff, like you have a phone and an internet access. There are people on the internet that are creating content and, putting out stuff to entertain people and uplift people. This is what you create. This is what you put out into the universe. This shit right here, this is what you put out here. Just negativity. And, this is a very hurt individual. This is unresolved trauma. This is a skewed perception of beauty and worth. And it's obviously influenced by, and I hate to say this because you all know I do not like to talk about race because that's not my thing. It's influenced by white supremacy and Eurocentric ideals. Okay, and this is also a desperate need for validation from the people that he see as superior, which is, white women, white men, whatever, okay? Because a lot of Black men do struggle with an inferiority complex. They really do. Like they really walk around life feeling inferior. They are very envious of the white man. Coming soon because I'm gonna work on a video about male envy because this is something that we have to talk about and something that we have to break down. And this is an example of it because when men are envious of someone, they want to replace them, they want to take their place, they want to destroy them. So he needs that validation. He's desperate for that validation. This is solely for attention, for clicks and likes and outrage. Okay, this is rage bait. Because there's no reason on this God green earth to post something like this, to say the quiet part out loud. Like, there's no reason for a post like this. This is the most despicable thing I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen anything worse than this. I don't know. And, just comparing Black women to, a dog, it just goes to shows that he doesn't see Black women as human. And it's very disturbing and very telling. You can trace all of this back to the relationship with his mother. And believe it or not, when I went digging, apparently he has a quote unquote good relationship with his mother. He's like, oh, I love my mother or whatnot. But honestly, Listen, I don't think this man loves his mother because if he did, he wouldn't be saying this type of stuff. I feel like, a lot of black men feel obligated to love their mothers, like they really do. I can't find anything about his mother right now, unfortunately. But anyways, this is what's her name? Hannah, his girlfriend that unalived him. This is her mugshot, y'all. Apparently, he's on the internet telling people that he loves his mother, blah, blah, blah. And I don't believe it. I don't buy it. And honestly, what kind of, I do not know if his mother was aware of the stuff that he was posting on the internet. Maybe she was unaware. I believe she could have been unaware. I'm not exactly sure. But then again, I can be wrong. Okay, so I'm only speculating right now. But ladies, these men are not angry with you. They are not hateful towards you. Everything they put out is a projection. Their problem is with their mama. They hate their mothers. And the women that remind them of their mothers, that's who they take that hatred out on, that frustration and that anger out on. So at the end of the day, when you see stuff like this, just keep it pushing, ladies. Don't give it your attention and your energy. Where attention goes, energy flows. Because a man that expresses this level of hatred towards a group of women that look like his mother, definitely, most definitely have deep-seated resentment towards the first black woman he ever knew, and which is his mother. That's where it starts. A lot of these niggas are fucking damaged and they need fucking therapy. I was trying not to cuss, but people don't develop that kind of self-hatred in a vacuum. It usually stems from childhood and childhood experiences and societal influences and the media. Let's not forget the media. Let's not forget that damn television and these rappers and all these people that are influencing them. Let's not forget about them. And if he grew up in an environment where his mother was, let's say maybe neglectful, abusive, emotionally unavailable, all of this can cause this to happen as an adult. And the thing is, a lot of Black women are really mean to their kids. And if you've ever come across content where Black men are pretending to be their mothers, and tell me if I'm lying, like just tell me if I'm lying, okay? Just tell me in the comments because I know if you're a Black person within the diaspora, okay, not just in the United States, and you see a comedian or someone on social media, let's say maybe a TikToker or whatnot, and they're pretending to be their mother. Usually they will put on like a wig or they'll be wearing a bonnet. Usually it's a bonnet, okay? And they will have like these skits where their mother is like really mean to them and their mother is beating them, be like beating the crap out of them, abusing them. And I think it's funny. I don't think those kids are funny at all. As a matter of fact, I don't like them. I don't like them because what I'm seeing, like when I see that type of stuff, all I'm seeing is trauma. That's all I'm seeing. And people use comedy as a way to, cope with trauma. So, when I see that type of content and those type of comedians, I don't like it. I just keep scrolling because I don't follow them. I don't follow them because you made your entire gig and your entire personality about your mother being super strict and super abusive. Like, come on. I don't like that. You got to take into consideration that the contempt or the hatred or the resentment that they feel towards their mother, you got to remember that they never healed from it. Okay, because men who express this type of contempt, they had a strained relationship with their mother. And I believe this. You do not know what happened in that home. And let's say even if the mother wasn't, let's say, mean, let's say she was loving, he may have very well absorbed negative stereotypes about Black women from the media or his peers, his friends, the people in his neighborhood. And he has a strong desire to assimilate to whiteness. And this is something that is very common in the United States among Black people. And I get it. I understand it because y'all are the minority. When I went and I look at the stats, y'all are only 13% of the population. And I was shocked when I found out because we get like a lot of American TV here in my country, and I grew up watching Black American TV. Like I watch all the sitcoms, like what's the one with Steve Urkel? And then there was The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, The Cosby shows. Like I grew up watching those shows. So I thought that, there was like a lot of Black people in the United States. I didn't know it was only 12 or 13% of the population, because that shook me. I was like, wow. So, even though you all are such a small percentage of the population, you all made such an impact in the world globally, especially, culturally. So I think that's amazing. And some of these men may have good mothers, like I said, grow up with both parents, maybe grew up middle class or whatnot, but they were conditioned to see, Black women that look like their mothers, women like that look like their sisters. They were conditioned to see them as undesirable. Okay, and that's a manifestation of societal racism and of course misogyny. So either way, a man that will get up on the internet and say something like this with his whole chest is someone that is dealing with something much deeper than just preference. He's battling his own demons, and those demons, make no mistake, they have roots in his upbringing, and it makes me sad. But then again, I'm not exactly sad about the situation because you all know I don't have empathy for racist, misogynist niggas. I don't. Because there's nothing wrong with having a preference. As a matter of fact, I could care less who a Black man lays down with. I don't care. But at the end of the day, this is one of these stories, and we always have a story like this. Like literally every year, a story like this comes out, and Black women are giving it a lot of attention, and we're all talking about it, but we have to stop. Okay? Now, if you are familiar with the works of Neville Goddard, I want you to go look up Neville Goddard, and I want you to start listening to his audiobooks on YouTube. Okay? Neville Goddard said, if you want something to go away, you want something to disappear, you turn or you take your attention away from it. Like you remove your attention. You ignore that shit, and guess what? It's going to go away. And I've been applying this to my life, and trust and believe it works. It really does. Telvin, is that his name? Telvin is not the first Black man that say horrible things like this and make tweets like this and posts like this on social media. He's not the first, and he's not going to be the last. But what we can change as a collective, okay, as Black women, as a collective, what we can change is the way we react to these stories and these antics. We have to change the way we react. Because if you react with indifference and nobody pays them any mind, nobody gives them any attention, they're going to stop. They are going to stop. They are doing this because they know it's going to get a rise out of you. They want to hurt you. He wants to hurt his mother. That's a person. That's a person who he's really angry with. Okay, let's be real. Like these men need to go to their mama and take that shit up with their mamas and leave us the F alone. Because come on. So just ignore them. The only reason why they're out here getting all this attention because they're sitting up on the internet, on these podcasts, all over the place, saying the most ridiculous things ever, saying the most hateful things about women that look like their mamas, and they're only doing it for attention and validation. They want your attention because they want a reaction out of you, and they want validation from the white people, basically. So this is not an easy video for me to make because I don't like to have conversations about Black and white. I don't like those type of conversations because I feel like in most cases, these conversations are very much unhelpful. And they usually, these type of conversations are a way to cause division and distraction. Let's be real. Because I do not believe in separation, okay? I don't believe in that. What's next? Just remember that stories like this are not going to go away. And we live in a world, in a matrix where there's always going to be, how should I say it? There's always going to be stuff like this. There's always going to be negativity. There's always going to be Black against white, and there's always going to be racism. There's always going to be, talk about race and, and people hating on interracial relationships and people using interracial relationship to get people mad. Like people, this is always going to happen. But do not pay attention to them. Because if you have a child that is throwing an absolute tantrum in the store, if you walk away from that child, you ignore the child and you walk away, what do you think is going to happen? He's going to stop throwing that tantrum. Because why? He's not getting mommy's attention. You got to remember that these men will do the most vile shit just to get attention, and we have to stop giving them the attention. That's because that's what they want. The minute you get angry, you get upset, and you start sharing it, and you're so pissed off or whatnot, they wanna. They wanna. Because this story, I am not pissed off by the story at all. Okay? I feel pretty much neutral about the story. However, that tweet was insane. It's wild. But if I see something like that, I would usually keep scrolling. Or if I don't want to see it on my feed again, report it or something like that. Stop giving these men your attention. And if you are, one of those people that subscribe to those channels where all they do is sit around and talk about black issues and black men and the black men and the white women and all that bullshit, like, please, please do yourself a favor and unsubscribe from those channels. They are not helping you. Okay? If you really want help with your life and you want to be happy in life, you need to subscribe to this channel. Okay? Go watch my other videos. I hope that, you find the videos helpful and subscribe. I will appreciate that you hit that subscribe button. That's all I have to say, really, because I don't have anything else to say. I'm not going to sit around and talk about and start bashing black men in general, or I'm not going to be here talking about white women. And, I can't, because we are not victims, ladies. We are not victims. Just remember that, okay? Thanks for listening.